Hello everybody, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday! Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Every Monday we are live right here, hanging out, talking about the most important thing in the whole wide world. That is, of course, going on a Royal Caribbean cruise. So I really appreciate you joining me here on this live broadcast. If you're watching the replay video, that is fantastic. Glad to have you here, and hope you get a chance to join us here live next time. Mike Pastor is our first chatter, and hello, Mike, welcome. Matt M is in the house, great name, Matt. Hello, T, hello, Michael S, Steve Carroll, Joe Johnson, Gloria, JJ Cruz is here, Monty Love in the house, Harley Owens, welcome. Cheryl Stockman is here as well. We got Pooji here, Karen Bartel, welcome. Matt Rearick, great name, welcome. Kim Oakland is here, guys, welcome. Glad to have all you guys here. John Cubero is here. Powerful Female, Arturo joining us. Cruise Addicts, guys, I love this. Thank you for joining us here. Let's start off today's live broadcast with the most important question, guys. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type it in chat right now. Let's count down together. Just Core Blocks has our first question. Do you think the cruise will be delayed in August? I honestly don't know, my friend. It would be wrong of me to mislead you one way or another. I don't know. There's really, gotta take it one day at a time until Royal Caribbean says otherwise. You gotta plan on the cruise happening. Nisa is here. Nisa says, Matt, the best part of quarantine. Thank you, I think. Nathan, open ear, welcome. Glad to have you here. Keith Bruce, what is the latest on cruise release date? Keith, what do you mean by that? When you say cruise release date, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Good evening, Benjamin Berger. Jill wants to know, will the Allure of the Seas be revamped before its November sailings? Right now, there's no way to know. As you probably are well aware, Allure of the Seas did not get her rail amplification. She was supposed to get one right at the beginning of this whole coronavirus thing going on. And unfortunately, that did not occur because Spain shut down its ports, and thus Allure couldn't get in to get her work done. So obviously, the amplification has been delayed, but there's no indication yet when it'll occur. So I can't tell you one way or another if it's going to happen by the time you have your cruise in November. Remains to be seen, quite frankly. But yeah. What's up, John Calderon? Welcome. Let's see here. Pam Morton, 194. Fran is 62 days. Todd Cohn, 264 days. Fingers crossed. Absolutely. Michael S. Next cruise, July 25th on Oasis. And just Core Blocks, yeah, you asked again, do you think cruises will be delayed in August? I don't know. No one knows, really. Truly, it is like, there are so many factors at play here that it's just, quite frankly, it's impossible to answer that question. So regardless of when you're asking, whether you're asking about your cruise in July, September, December, it's anyone's guess, quite frankly. I wish I could give you a better answer than that, but truly, I have no better way of gauging possibilities than you guys do. Keith wants to know, when will cruises be available to leave from North America? Good question, Keith. Again, unfortunately, we don't know the answer to that one. Right now, Royal Caribbean, like all the other cruise lines, is in a shutdown. There's a temporary shutdown. We're actually about almost exactly 1 month into the shutdown here. It's hard to believe it's been a month because it seems like it's been about 6 months already. It feels like it's been 6 months, but it's only been about a month. And we still have about another month to go, and I think that I would not be shocked to see that if there was another extension of that. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. You only have to look outside and watch the news for about 30 seconds to know that. What's the matter?
When you're done, can you please get me some water?
Yeah. Ask your sister. She can get it for you too, you know. Marcus, should I make my final payment for Ovation in July? Marcus, if you want to go on the cruise, the answer is yes. I mean, until they tell you otherwise. That's the best way I can answer them. If you would intend to, granted, there's a lot of considerations at play when it comes to what the possibilities are and everything like that, and logistics involved. Those, of course, I can't answer for you. But yeah. Jason Calderon. Jason, I'm sorry, dude. Irish Media, is my cruise gonna be canceled May 22nd? I wouldn't be shocked to hear that there's more cancellations, but as of right now, Royal Caribbean has not said anything else. Sarah Baker, is Odyssey's inaugural going to be delayed? Don't know. Guys, here's the answer, and I know this is not the answer you're looking for, but any cruise that is on the schedule between May 12th And 2022, no one can definitively, I certainly can't, nobody can definitively tell you one way or another. There is no inside track, there's no secret sauce here for me to share with you guys. And I think it would be irresponsible of me to tell somebody who was a cruise in July, oh, I think you have a 35% chance or a 95% chance of going on your cruise. I mean, I have really no other information to base it on, based on more than you guys know there. Here's the reality. A lot of what is happening now is on a daily basis. Things are changing every day, and we see that in the news, and that's very much true in the cruise industry. There's a lot of factors involved. You've got the cruise lines, but they're not in control of their own destiny, right? The cruise ports have to reopen. Some of the medical facilities, the governments have to allow cruises back out there. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of considerations there. Angel, I have temper tantrums due to being autistic on the cruise. Will I be getting kicked out? No. I think that obviously if you let the crew know about what's going on there and you take certain precautions, I think you'll be okay. They're generally very understanding. Sandra, will Liberty still be going through amplification? As of right now, yeah, we don't know the date yet. Royal Caribbean has not said anything about that, so we're kind of waiting to hear about it. As far as I'm concerned, if you were looking forward to any Royal amplifications at this point, I would probably say those are at the most risk of a date changing one way or another, because Royal amplifications, while you and I definitely want to look forward to that, those are the kind of expenditures that Royal can hold off on doing if they can, because right now they're literally bleeding money. Gerard Morris with a big super chat. Thank you, Gerard. Gerard writes, hey, Matt, finally caught you live. I'm in Ireland and normally in bed. Thanks for all the great work you do to keeping us informed with all the latest info. Let's hope we can all go cruising soon. Amen. Gerard, thank you so much for your generosity, my friend. Really appreciate the super chat, and I agree with you 100%. When it comes right down to it, I think we all just want to be able to be back on board a cruise. Becca wants to know what's to do on Mariner of the Seas for honeymooners. Lots of great activities. I mean, you can go, there's great restaurants to enjoy. There's a great bar scene, live music. There's shows on board the ship that you can check out as a couple. Fun shore excursions. Perfect day at Cocoa Key. How about getting Cocoa Beach Club access to spice up your day at Perfect Day at Cocoa Key? These are all just a couple of things I can think of that'd be great for a honeymooner. Megan Mapson, what's my favorite thing to do in Roatan? You know, I was supposed to go to Roatan in March, and unfortunately it did not occur because of the whole shutdown. But I would probably tell you, I went to a semi-all-inclusive, Megan. I say semi because it wasn't completely all-inclusive, but an all-inclusive through Royal Caribbean called Mayan Princess. That was pretty good. I like that quite a bit. Eduardo says, hey, my cruise was on Navigator on April 17th. Are they going to give the cruise credits immediately? Not immediately, but they are going to give them sooner than later. They're working through it. There is quite a delay in getting some of those credits. I just received my future cruise credit for my March 15th sailing last week. So there's quite a lot of logistics involved. And I know some people are not very happy with maybe not how quickly they're being doled out there. But this is an unprecedented situation. And look, I want my money as much as the next person. But I also have to recognize that this is a unique situation, and they're trying their best. Justin Liu, what's the future of the Royal Caribbean Blog podcast? Brand new episodes every week, my friend, Justin. In fact, we started doing some new episodes called Cruise Stories, Justin, in the last couple weeks here. You may have already heard 2 of them. We have another one coming up. So we're kind of pivoting the podcast a little bit. Talk about fun, interesting, and memorable cruise experiences from past cruises while we wait for kind of all this to kind of dissipate. Otherwise, the podcast would just be coronavirus update weekly, you know? Kim Oakland with a giant super chat. Woo! Kim, thank you so much. Favorite ports in the Southern Caribbean? Aruba. You know, I used to say, Kim, Aruba and Curacao are my favorite, but I had such a great time at Bonaire, renting an ATV on my last time there. That now, took Bonaire from wherever it was to much higher in there. But I would say, I think the ABC Islands are the Southern Caribbean islands to visit. Certainly St. Martin is lovely, and St. Kitts is nice, and Barbados has its charms. I do like Antigua a lot. I might actually, let me revise that. Kim, I'll say Aruba, Antigua, Curacao. Not necessarily in that order, but those are my top 3. But Bonaire's solid 4 right there. Miranda wants to know what's my next cruise. My next cruise is supposed to be May 16th on Independence of the Seas. Chris Eppolito, have you heard of anyone's final payment being delayed? No. That is one area, Chris, that Royal Caribbean is not budging at all. Final payment dates and the rules surrounding that staying put. Wow, powerful female with a back-to-back here giant super chat. Woo! Thank you, powerful female. You are great at this. I love your website. Keep up the good work. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the kind words. It has been quite a, I don't want to say a struggle. It's been a challenge in this day and age, because I used to have really the whole blog thing. You know, I had a nice little model going there, and then all this happened. And when I say all of this happened, people just aren't searching for Royal Caribbean all that much. You guys notwithstanding, it's not there's been a discernible drop, and it's been affecting every content creator out there, whether it's myself or other YouTubers or people who run blogs. It's been a challenge, so we have to change with the times. We have to evolve, and I think now, about a month in, we've certainly regained my ground. I'm not nearly at the level I was before, but you know what? Powerful female, it is my pleasure to continue to bring you guys Royal Caribbean. I'm trying to blend it, right? At the one hand, we got to cover what's happening with coronavirus. We got to cover all the news, nitty gritty, everything happening. You guys want to know about it? I want to know about it. That's understood. And on the other hand, I'm trying to also balance. It can't only be that. We can also have some fun, talk some Royal Caribbean history, share some recipes, look back at some fun things to do on board. Kind of good blend right there. Megan Maps, I didn't go over for some mozzarella sticks at Coco Key right now. Oh my goodness, I love those things. They are so good. Lisa, I was on Oasis of the Seas March 1st to March 8th. We fell in love with the whole crew. We also would love to know how crew is doing. Thank you. Lisa, I'm so glad to hear you had a great time on your cruise. And that's a really good point. Unfortunately, Royal Caribbean has not been shared a whole lot of information what the crew is up to or their status or anything like that. They, best I can tell them, they're doing their best to take care of them in this interim period. Keith wants to know, is it true that there are several new guidelines when Royal Caribbean starts sailing again, like at the Windjammer, the crew members will bring you your food? Keith, there has nothing been announced. I think what you're probably referring to is either a combination of speculation or policy changes seen on other cruise lines. But Royal Caribbean, Keith, has not announced any policy changes yet related to things like that. Could that absolutely happen? Absolutely, Keith. I think that would be, I think that would not surprise me one bit to see that. Miranda says, my dad likes to watch you, and I know why. We're both good-looking guys, and we love Royal Caribbean, right? Nisa wants to know, do I invest in Royal Caribbean stocks? I do not, Nisa. I am not a stock guy. I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to stocks. And while I do recognize that the price of the stock, Royal Caribbean stock, is down, I'm a very conservative guy when it comes to investment. I would rather see a very steady stream, just like this. I'm not looking to I don't want to call it gamble it away, but it's not my style. It's not my thing, and I also don't know a whole lot about it. And since I feel so educated about it, I prefer to stay out of it. 12th Man Proud is here. I'm so late. Got an email for my Crown and Anchor status being extended. Does your Crown and Anchor status go down if you don't sail for a certain time? No, 12th Man, you got that wrong. I know what email you're talking about. It's not Crown and Anchor. That's Casino Royale. Your Crown and Anchor status never changes. If you get to Pinnacle and never take another cruise for the rest of your life, you'll always be Pinnacle. Same is true for all levels, 12th Man. What I think you're referring to, I could be wrong, but what I think you're referring to is that email that came out last week from Casino Royale about it keeping your status. That's for the casino. That's the casino loyalty program. And that one does change, yes. Benjamin Berger, have you ever done the Grey Cliff Hotel Chocolate Tour? I have, dude. That is a really fun, easy, not an excursion, but an excursion. Something to do when you're in Nassau. Absolutely great spot. Kim Olkins says, I made my first lava flow at home tonight. Thanks to the recipe. Is that what you call drink directions? Yes, absolutely. And Kim, I'm so glad to hear that. How did it come out? Because I love a lava flow, and it's a fairly easy drink to make. You just have to have the ingredients. You just throw it all in a blender and blend it up, and you're pretty much good to go right there. Angel, who's Richard Fain? He's the CEO of Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited. We actually have a blog post right up there, newest blog post, all about the difference between Royal Caribbean International and Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited. What's the difference? And who is Richard Fain? That's in that blog post today. Al Martinez, do you think that cruising will start again when Royal Caribbean says it should? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Al. Are you asking essentially, will cruising resume before the government says that cruises should? Is that what you're asking? John DiMuccio, I've ever been on a European cruise. I have not, but I have one booked for next summer. Ryan Fowler, I noticed the CDC ordered a no-sail order to be extended. Royal Caribbean ship stopped sailing earlier March till May 11th. So with the CDC order, are the cruises this summer still good? Love the videos. Thank you, Ryan. It really is very, very vague. What I mean by that, Ryan, is number one, that extension from the CDC order has absolutely no date indicated when it begins, which is really weird. So you gotta kind of, there's a lot of theories on when that date begins. But Ryan, here's the other thing. That 100 days notice is secondary to the fact that it can be rescinded immediately if the CDC or the, oh gosh, what's the name of the department? HHS, Health and Human Services, decide that this is over or safe, they can rescind it immediately. So it's not written in stone, and I certainly wouldn't take it right now to be a death sentence, if you will, for cruises. Now, that being said, when it comes to summer cruises, by most accounts, that 100-day mark, if it were to go out 100 days, would be right in the mid to late July, depending on when you think the 100 days begins, because the CDC has been extremely vague on it, and doesn't have anything, that would be the date there. So you still have some of the summer left over. I'd also add that, again, the 100 days could be extended, it could be shortened. It's not the end-all, be-all of when cruises could or could not exist. So don't take that verbatim as the guideline. It's just another factor at play, is the way I look at it, quite frankly. So, hope that makes sense. Amy McGuire, any recommendations for an excursion in Nassau that's safe for kids other than snorkeling in Atlantis? Yeah, Amy, get a day pass to the British Colonial Hilton. Go to resortforaday.com. You can find it over there. I've been there lots of times. Love it. Tony Diaz is here. What's up, Tony? Hope you're doing well. Hope you and your wife are staying healthy. 12th man proud with a giant super chat. Woo! 12th man writes, yes, you are right. My mistake. Thanks. That's why you were the Oracle bowing down. LOL. I appreciate that. You're much too proud. Much too kind, I should say. Not proud. Much too kind. But I do appreciate that, sir. And glad we get to sort that out over there. Luna, what do you suggest doing in Costa Maya? My favorite go-to thing every time I go to Costa Maya is to book a place called Maya Chan. Maya Chan is all-inclusive beach resort, if you want to call it that, that is run by a bunch of American expats. It is the best all-inclusive service I've had at any resort anywhere in the world. They will make you feel like you are royalty. I mean, they treat you amazing. Kevin H., if you take the 125% credit and then book a cruise only 95% of the original credit, does the remainder become an onboard credit? No, the remainder becomes a new future cruise credit you can use towards another booking. I see Andrew Ford in there talking to the chat. Andrew, hope you're doing well. DJ, do you know anything about redeeming a Royal Caribbean cruise certificate? Sure, what would you like to know, DJ? We have an in-depth blog post about future cruise credits and how that works, if that's what you're talking about. What's on my t-shirt tonight? This is actually, Megan, this is a Periscope t-shirt. Back in the day when Periscope is Twitter's live streaming thing, I reached a certain level because I had a certain amount of viewers and they rewarded us back when Twitter actually cared about their platform. They sent this shirt, and so it's the hearts that you see in the Twitter app. So, Sean Asso says Maya Chan is awesome. I love Maya Chan. It is a fantastic resort. Like I said, guys, every time I go to Costa Maya, that is the place I go. If you want to book Maya Chan, do not wait. It does sell out quite a bit. Trevor Shore, hey Matt, I'm going on a cruise in August. Should I plan on getting canceled? Not plan on getting canceled, but you should plan on the possibility of it, absolutely. Sarah Baker loves Maya Chan as well. Paul Somerville, does the travel agents get paid to rebook any previous cruise in a future cruise credit? They get paid regardless. They get paid regardless, Paul. If a guest takes a future cruise credit, the commission from that is protected by Royal Caribbean. It is one of the many things that Royal Caribbean is doing. I won't say behind the scenes, but many of the initiatives they're taking to look out not only for themselves, but for the people that depend on them. And that's a great example of that. So they don't have to do that. They can say like, hey guys, sorry, cruise is canceled, you ain't getting paid. That's how commissions usually work with travel agents. Because usually when somebody books a cruise through a travel agent, the agent does not get paid until the person goes on the cruise. Well, if you're taking a future cruise credit for a canceled cruise and now your next cruise is not for another year, that means that person wouldn't get paid for another year, but Royal Caribbean's doing the right thing right there. Marcus, is it true that Ovation has a ramen noodle restaurant? They used to have it, Marcus, not anymore. When she came over from Asia, they changed it over. I believe it's now where Fish and Chips is, if I'm not mistaken. Cindy Graff, have I tuned into a virtual of the season? I have, Cindy, yeah. Not every single one. But I love what Abe does. When Abe first started out, he sent me an email, and was like, hey, I'm going to try this Virtual of the Seas thing. I'm like, that's a great idea, dude. And I started sharing the information there, and yeah, I love being a part of that. It's a lot of fun. Sandra Bruce says, we rebooked our May 3rd canceled cruise to January 3rd on board Liberty of the Seas. Shout out to Grace Corba at MEI Travel. First time I used MEI, and she was amazing and made everything super easy. Well, Sandra, thank you so much. Of course, MEI Travel is our sponsor, our travel agent sponsor for RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. So thank you so much for supporting our sponsor. Really appreciate that. Tess Hardy is here. So fortunate I was able to go on Royal Caribbean in January, February this year before everything got stopped. I agree, and I had 2 cruises in January, well, a cruise in January, a cruise in February as well, and I am so glad I got those in at the very least, right? Let's see here. Challenger Chris, sailing on Harmony in October. After getting settled in, what is your choice of first thing to visit before the pool? Oh, it's easy, Chris. Go to the Windjammer. You gotta eat, my friend. Yeah, dude, I gotta have a meal on board. That's my go-to every single time get on board. After that, just walk around, explore, get your bearings. Just go deck by deck. I would say, if you're in the Windjammer, you're on a top deck anyway. Start working your way down and explore those areas. John Lowley, what's the first cruise you're going to book once everything is lifted and you can cruise again? I would say the smart bet is like Mariner of the Seas weekend cruise because I live near Port Canaveral, so it'd be pretty easy for me to jump on a cruise at the last minute. Amy McGuire, my kids are already embarrassed and I'm insisting to get my picture taken with you on our Navigator cruise in July. If that happens, even if it's just you walking by in the background. First of all, Amy, I love embarrassing anybody's children as much as you do. And second of all, please do not take a picture of me in the background. Come say hello. I would love to pose for it. Say hello to your kids and totally embarrass them. Let me know any kind of ammunition I can use for that. Joe Drenick, is Royal Caribbean going to allow the CDC guidelines to further cancel all cruises? When will this be announced? It's a good question, Joe. We don't know yet. I know that Carnival announced they canceled their cruises through June 26th. Here's what I think, guys. I think the cruise lines are not taking, 100 days, no cruises at all, we're going to move past that date. I think they're looking at it 30 days at a time, I think is what they're really looking at. And so I honestly believe that they're going to look at it one segment of time at a time, but I don't know if or when that will occur. Jonathan Harmon, I'm trying to convince my future wife to go on a transatlantic cruise. Can you help me, please? I got one word for you, Jonathan. Honeymoon. She can't say no. Randy Patrick, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Randy, you're at 216 days to Allure of the Seas. Come on, Windjammer. Man, I hope you get to enjoy a fabulous meal in the Windjammer on the lovely and beautiful Allure of the Seas. Awesome. Josh Taylor is here. Good evening. Any word on the delay of the new cruise terminal in Galveston? No, dude, it was like 2 weeks ago. I have heard zip, zero, zilch. I believe those meetings are not publicly facing, or they're not publicly broadcast. It's a good question, dude. In my experience, all things Galveston, usually it's the local news that catch that stuff because the port really doesn't publicize their stuff very well. They just kind of do their own thing. So yeah. Luxury and Leisure wants to know, why isn't Royal Caribbean selling out of California anymore? Besides this whole pandemic thing, are there any plans in the future? It's a good question. So before all of this, the reason why Royal Caribbean stopped cruising out of California was, among other reasons, they can make more money with their ships elsewhere in the world. Right? The rise in popularity of cruising in Australia and China specifically, I think drew ships away from LA, primarily. Number 2 is there was also a giant surge in crime in Mexico. And that's where the cruise ships go, on the western side of Mexico. So it created a real dilemma for that. So when you combined safety and better revenue elsewhere, that's kind of why they did what they did. Manzo wants to know, will new ships be built in the next few years in light of what is currently going on? I believe so for 2 reasons, Manzo. Number 1, Royal Caribbean has already said that they're making sure that new construction stays on target. And number 2, I'm reminded about a year or 2 ago when Royal Caribbean was starting to really go on this upswing here of revenue, and they're doing really well in their stock and income and all that. They lamented the fact that they could have been making more money had they spent more money investing in hardware during the last economic recession, which of course was the Great Recession around 08-09. At that point, they stopped building. And so for a couple of years, there were no new ship orders. And as a result, that gap of no new ships caught up with 2018, 2019, and so forth. And that caused that Royal Caribbean couldn't fully take advantage. New ships command such a big market. So I think that's the case. Kella says, I've asked the same question 5 times. Kella, I'm so sorry. There's a lot of people in here. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. So my advice to anybody is ask your question. Give me a minute or two. If your question goes scrolling by, ask it again. I will absolutely try my best. If I still don't get to your question, you can always email me, matt@royalcaribbeanblog.com. Happy to answer it there. Will wants to know, how do the Alaska cruises look like this year? Right now, they're canceled through July 1st at the very least. Beyond that, dude, I would look at what Canada is doing in terms of its ports. Right now, it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. 12th Land Pride, do you think the Windjammer will be as good as it was going to a sit-down service? Yeah, it's not going to be sit-down. I think it's just going to be some guy behind the, instead of you grabbing it, some guy with tongs going, here you go, here you go, here you go. I think that's all it's going to be. And we've seen that before. The reason I say that is we've seen this before when there's been like norovirus outbreaks. They've implemented that on a temporary basis. Kim says, I think it's smart for the cruise lines to only announce 30 days at a time, or even less is easier on the stock market. That's absolutely true. Plus, once you announce the cruise is canceled, you can't take it back. So, absolutely. Christy Kondali, I booked a cruise aboard the Symphony this season in July. Will we be able to go? Honestly, Kristen, Kritten. Honestly, I don't know. I wish I could tell you definitively, but you guys know just as much as I do. Is it 100% certain you're going to go? No, I don't think any cruise is 100% certain at this point. But I do believe that the further away you are, the better your chances. But I really can't give you like any indication because I wouldn't know. I'd be guessing. I'd be purely guessing, and that would not be fair to you. John DiMuccio, my wife and I struggled with what to do at night when the kids went down and the in-laws watched them. Recommendations for nightlife. The 2 places that always stand out to me, John, is the Schooner Bar and the pub. Live music in there. Love going there. James and Jody is here. Do you think Royal Caribbean will have difficulty meeting the guidelines like plan of action? Which one? Are you talking about the CDC ones that came out like a week or 2 ago? I think those are just for right now when cruise ships are not operating, but they need to get people off the ship like crew members. I don't think that's there's no way they'd be able to work with that from a real when cruises resume. Joe Miskin, are they renovating Allure this season? They are not, Joe. They never started it because of the whole coronavirus thing. There was no amplification, so it's on pause essentially. Paul Somerville, are there seasons as in for more honeymooners, seniors, families, college age, etc.? There are. I mean, if school is in session, you'll have less kids. Spring break, you get more families. Summertime, you get more families. If school is in session, less families, less kids. If school is not in session, when there's breaks, you'll get more kids. Beyond that, honeymooners, just when people get married. You look at the wedding schedule, you know? A lot of people get married in the spring and summer, so honeymoons usually occur at that point as well. Jewel Triplet, are they still moving forward with Odyssey this season? As far as I can tell, yes. There's been no indication that they've changed that. We've seen construction updates from the Meyer Werft shipyard in Germany, and it still looks like it's on course right there. Let's see here. Lisa, oh my gosh, I've never seen you live before. I'm hoping to schedule my first cruise for next summer. Well, Lisa, welcome. Glad to have you here. Nanny Beedling, you are doing an amazing job. So I was late to the party. What is the date now? Oh, right now, May 12th will resume. Right now. Bob, are you going to reschedule your Alaska cruise for this year? No, Bob. Unfortunately, we don't have time because my kids are supposed to restart school in August. So we already have another cruise planned and other issues, so it's just not going to happen. Unfortunately, Bob, no. Megan Arnett, if no ports open up, what do you think Royal Caribbean will do? Well, it's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. Certainly, they have to be able to go somewhere. I would think this, guys. At the very least, when we talk about a date where Royal Caribbean resumes service, it will not be 26 ships resuming service immediately like it did when they first stopped. It's probably going to be a couple of short sailings that resume first, followed by some other ones. I mean, it's going to be a slow ramp up. Nathan Ludwig is the ultimate family suite perfect for children and children at heart. Honestly, dude, it's a really cool room. Like, and really, really impressive. But having been in it, not stayed in it, been in it, I think the other star class suites are a better option. But it is look, at the end of the day, the kids don't care. They want to stay in the ultimate family suite. Jake Minoff, do you think Royal Caribbean will do some cruises internationally before opening cruises in the U.S.? It's a fair point, Jake. I don't know. It's possible. Obviously, look, if let me give you an example, Jake. If Australia opened up cruises again, right now they're shut down as well. But if Australia reopened and said, hey guys, we're open for business again, cruises can come out over here, I think they would, yes. before resuming in the U.S. Miranda, when will I do a group cruise? I have a group cruise planned. We have one this year, Brilliance of the Seas in October, and we have 2 more next year, 2021. Anthem of the Seas out of Southampton in July to Norway, and Harmony of the Seas out of Port Canaveral for Thanksgiving 2021. More information about all of our group cruises at royalcaribbeanblog.com/support. Let's see here. Kella. I'm going to Perfect Day, Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Roatan. What are some good attractions? Is a 3-night dining package worth it? Dining package is absolutely worth it. Perfect Day, don't plan anything. Just walk out the ship, enjoy your time. Go to Oasis Lagoon or the beach. You'll love it over there. Costa Maya, Maya Chan, Kella. Go to royalcaribbeanblog.com. It's an all-inclusive resort. I love it. We have reviews of it at the blog. You'll enjoy that. Cozumel, I would also book a day pass to a place. Actually, you know what I might say to do, Kella? I would say take a taxi, go to Paradise Beach. It's not all-inclusive. It's pay as you go, but an excellent value. Roatan, more of a toss-up. We were supposed to go there in March. We didn't go because it was canceled. We were going to do a sloth petting tour. Why not? Let's see here. Jordan, what new cruise do you think is better? Give me some options, Jordan. I'm not sure what you mean by that one. Lisa, appreciate your YouTube. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate those kind words. Peter, Joseph, what's the best thing to do in Puerto Rico? Walk around, man. Your ship docks right in Old San Juan. Walk around, explore, see the history, go to the Spanish forts, have some mofongo, take in some history, culture. There's great art over there. It's a great town to just walk around in Old San Juan. Andrew, putting on your Royal Caribbean fortune teller hat, where do you see Oasis of the Sea sailing from in August? If it's not, let me put it this way, Andrew. If there are not cruises operating, she will sit off the coast and do nothing. They're not going to reposition the ship. I cannot, look, I know I'm really famous, Andrew, for saying I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict these things. They're not going to move a ship around with months, if not weeks notice and be like, oh yeah, let's rebook it. Because Andrew, if you booked a cruise out of Bayonne on Oasis, and then they're like, okay, we're going to move it to Fort Lauderdale, nobody would go on that cruise. Maybe a few people would be okay, I'll book the airfare. Most people are like, are you kidding me? No. They'll cancel the cruise, Andrew. They'll just let the ship sit idle. It's just, they want to have people on air, but if the ship is unable to because Bayonne is closed, they are not going to do anything with it. The ship is going to sit there until they have to go somewhere else. Does that make sense? Jeremy, do you know if Allure will be refurbished? Yes, Royal Caribbean has said it will happen, just not sure when. Shane, how are the kids clubs on Harmony? Fantastic. My kids love them in there. When is Royal Caribbean starting cruising again, Junior? Right now they say May 12th. I don't know, I believe that, but that's the current date Royal Caribbean is saying. Tony, there's my crystal ball right there. Absolutely. Hello to Travel and Tour. Welcome. Awesome, guys. Well, I really appreciate you hanging out with me. This is a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, talking Royal Caribbean. Procore is here. Kritten, do you think the production of Wonder of the Seas got delayed? Don't know, my friend. I really, that kind of information, new ship construction, you're really at the mercy of the shipyard to give out information. We haven't seen a whole lot about that. Mike Bassler, sadly, I don't get to wear my Where's Matt? I need a shot shirt in 10 days. Yeah, we'll have to reschedule for another time. MJ is here. What's up, MJ? You think Royal Caribbean will delay Grandeur of the Seas changing to Pullman Tour? That's an excellent question. Of course, what MJ is referring to is, it was announced a while ago that Grandeur will leave the fleet. I don't think so. I think that would stay on schedule. I just don't see a reason why they wouldn't. Because they don't have cruises scheduled, and Pullman Tour does, I'm sure. So, yeah, I think that would still be the case. Gary Mioli, you're very welcome. Andrew says, definitely makes sense. My thought was idling smaller, less efficient ships and using bigger ones to take over multiple ships. Oh, it would be a logistical nightmare, Andrew, because, the rooms, like, I booked this room in this place, that doesn't exist here. It's just, it's tough. It's a real tough, I just don't see it happening. I really don't. Now, that being said, if, no, I just don't, I think they're going to look at their schedule and be like, okay, it's practical to resume cruises here for this ship? Yes. In the meantime, obviously, Mariner can hop in there, so. John Cubero, my 8-year-old daughter is wondering what my favorite itinerary is. I love Western Caribbean. I really do I love Cozumel, I love Costa Maya. It's hard to go wrong with those. Southern Caribbean is more exotic. I like that a little bit more. But, Tell your 8-year-old daughter that I think, yeah, I think, let's go with the Western. Let's go with, I mean, I love Southern, but Western's so much easier to get to, so I'll go with that one. Jordan's Symphony, Allure, or Oasis? Oasis. Because of the refurb, it's been phenomenal over there. 5-Trick, going on Explorer in November to ABC Islands. Any must-dos? Aruba, go to the beach. Palm Beach or Eagle Beach. Curacao, walk downtown, do some exploring, then go to Mambo Beach. Lots of good stuff over there. And then Bonaire, I rented an ATV. That was so much fun. This was not through Royal Caribbean. I have a review of it at royalcaribbeanblog.com, though. Paul, do you gain more weight on a cruise or eating snacks while you're stuck at home? Eating at home, because I never get up. I just sit at the desk. By far, Paul, it's way worse being at home. Elena, will I get notified when my future cruise credit is available? Yes, you'll get an email from Royal Caribbean. Absolutely. Don Goldstein is here. What's up, Don? We got Jose Pena in the house. Welcome, guys. James and Jody, Mariner or Navigator, and why? Navigator, but I've cruised a lot on Mariner. I mean, this is a biased answer for you, because I cruised a ton on Mariner. I think some of the changes on Navigator are kind of neat, like the water slides and what they did with the pool deck there. So I think those little things give Navigator an edge, but then again, Mariner has hibachi. That's one of my favorite places to eat. But I would say Navigator by a nose. Jonesy, what's up, Jonesy? Man, you have a great knack of following me everywhere I am. I love that, my friend. Nate Lawrence, second the Galveston question. Did they get that year delay? No, we don't know. That's a good question, dude. They have not. Nobody's announced anything. It's kind of weird because they were supposed to have the meeting. I don't know if the meeting happened. I don't know if there was an agreement. I've heard nothing. To quote Hogan's Heroes, I know nothing or nothing. Robert, big differences of Diamond versus Diamond Plus. So you get a bigger discount on some things. The free photo is probably the most significant discount. Mostly it. You get the extra day of Voom. That's probably the most significant one. You get 2 days of Voom, complimentary Voom instead of 1 as Diamond. So, Jonesy, I love it. Jeffrey Edwards, wait, Grandeur is going away. Yes. When she leaves, Jeffrey, Enchantment of the Seas will take her place. Did I go to Penn State? No, that Penn State hat there is for a friend. We were on a Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise, and he won the quest, and he loves Penn State. So as a tribute to him, I have that hat back there. Zane, do you know how many rooms you need to receive a group discount? 8. If you don't get a discount, Zane, what you do is, as the tour operator, so Zane, if it's your group, then if you get 8 rooms, you qualify for money back. It's more like cash back than a discount. The price for the rooms are the same. The difference is you booked a group, you're the tour leader, you get credits back to you that you can use however you see fit, whether that's to apply to your room reservation, share it with your group members, up to you. To travel, we were in Antigua not too long ago, and they have some of those beautiful beaches. Absolutely. I've been in Antigua one time, and we went to Valley Church Beach. That was amazing. And of course, Royal Caribbean is building its first Royal Beach Club in Antigua, which I don't know if that's going to happen. It's supposed to open this year. I don't think it's really going to occur, but because of the whole delay. But when it does, I think it's going to be amazing. Brad, should I cancel my cruise in September from Rome? I would advise you to let Royal Caribbean cancel on you. I know it's a bit of a risk because you're risking you might actually have to go on your cruise. But I really believe you'll get more money back. I mean, I know you're going to get more money back and no penalties if you let Royal Caribbean cancel on you. That's what I would do. But look, if you're saying, Matt, there is zero chance I'm going on this cruise if it does happen, and I don't want to be out airfare, and I got to cancel now or never, then obviously do that. Do what's fiscally responsible for you. But if part of you says I'd be willing to go, I'd say roll the dice. That's what I'm doing. Not on that cruise, but in all my cruises. Josie, is Royal Caribbean going to require people to pay off cruises while a cruise ban is still active? Yeah, absolutely. There's until Royal changes its policy, the answer is yes. Tony Diaz with the super chat. Tony, here's to putting this virus behind us and we begin cruising again. Yes, brother. Really appreciate that, Tony. Thank you so much. And I couldn't agree more with that sentiment, sir. Church, Plant, and Catalyst. If you don't use all the future cruise credit in a cabin, will you be able to use the remaining balance towards excursions, dining, drinks, and shopping? No. If you don't use all the money on a future cruise credit, that goes towards a new credit. The remainder becomes a new future cruise credit for you to use towards a new booking. You don't lose it. Just use it towards something else. Mike Pastor, I do too, because I kind of picked that group cruise because it goes there and it should be like right around that timing. So fingers crossed, but you never know. Debbie, should we cancel our cruise for July? Like I just said, I don't think you should. I think you should hold on to it. Number one, you'll get more money back if Royal cancels on you. But number two, as long as you're okay with it, I would run that risk, quite frankly, because I think at the end of the day, you probably want to go on the cruise A, and if B not, you might as well get some more money out of it. If you cancel before Royal does, you do not qualify for whatever terms Royal Caribbean gives you. And there are so many people, guys, who I hear about every time Royal Caribbean cancels sailings. They're like, I canceled the day before, a week before, an hour before. Why am I not getting those, the benefits that people who got canceled on are? And the answer is because you canceled before Royal could. That's the risk you take with that. You agreed to the terms. So, yeah, if it were up to me, I'd say wait on it. But look, if you're saying, Matt, I need the money. I'm not going on this cruise. There's a lot of other factors involved. I wouldn't fault you. But I just want to make sure you're aware of the landscape in front of you, I should say. Let's see here. Christopher says, if Royal Caribbean cancels on us, will we get money refund or only cruise credit? A choice of either or. Of course, they could change their minds, but as of right now, the policy has been for the previously canceled cruises, you get a choice of 100% refund or 125% future cruise credit. Linda, how do you cruise so much with your kids being in school? They don't always come on every sailing I go on. That's number one. But number two, we just cruise during school breaks. So that's kind of the way. We used to take them out of school because they were a lot younger. But as my older one, who is in third grade right now and about to go into fourth grade, that's a lot harder to do. So we're now very much stuck to the school schedule. Do I say a hashtag sorry Tony in the chat? Tucker, hashtag sorry Tony, that was from like a couple months ago. Yep, and still relevant. Anytime you upset Tony, you gotta say hashtag sorry Tony. I love it, guys. All right, on that note, after we've invoked hashtag sorry Tony, I gotta wrap up this live video. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here. We might have to do another one on Thursday, because you know what, you guys? Lots of good questions, lots of good feedback here, and I'm sure we'll have some more questions for you on that one. So, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us here. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. There has been, I think, like 4 different blog posts on the blog just today. Just today, guys. My finger's been busy. I've been like this all day. That's right, I type with 2 fingers. But it's lots of great stuff. Make sure you do not miss out on any of that stuff. And yeah, we've got some fun stuff lined up for you guys in the next coming day. So stay tuned for that as well. And until then, guys, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy. Do something fun. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. I forgot where I was. That's embarrassing. See you guys later. Bye, everybody.